Mexico 2, Saudi Arabia nil. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Charla Football. I'm your host, as always, Gerardo, here with Tomas. We're doing this a little different. We're trying to test out more like live podcasts since we're kind of together in person for a little bit. So we're trying to do more of this. Definitely, if you guys like content like this, make sure you guys subscribe, like, check out all the platform links down below. Honestly, a very mid performance from the Mexican national team. Nothing spectacular, especially the first 45 minutes. Absolute sleeper. Didn't even watch the game. Grilling some fucking meat, honestly, because there was nothing important going on in the first half. But what I did like is seeing Gilberto Mora and Julian Araujo. He has not started. He has not played a single match, since the Amistosos and since the start of the Gold Cup. But finally, we get to see him a little bit. Honestly, he did pretty decent. Mora, the first half, honestly, everybody was bad, very poor. Mora was in the second half stepped up his game a little bit, but also I think because once the team went into the vestidor, like they just probably got in trouble by Bosco. Probably told them to step it up, bro. Honestly, he probably yelled at them, for sure. But overall, I would give the performance like a 6.5 out of 10, maybe.
I'd say maybe a 7 because we see younger players in positions doing jobs that older players usually do, where maybe it's mid in the sense, but the fact that there's 16, 20, and 21-year-olds doing it,
Yeah.
it's different.
It's good. That was the most exciting thing on my part, just getting to see like new players, younger players, get more opportunities like Gilberto, like Julian, who we haven't seen. Marcel again getting the start. Charlie Rodriguez has not seen the starting lineup in the past like 2 matches, so
Thank God.
that's a good thing. Raul was active today. Vega on the left wing was pretty active. But like I said, those first 45 minutes was just a disaster class from the Mexican national team. Like, name me one good player from the first half.
There was none.
Exactly. Like, there was really nothing going on in that first half. Second half was where everything kind of, like, especially those first 5 minutes, that's where Mexico were pretty much key and where they actually performed well. That's where Mexico got the first goal from Alexis Vega. Great hold to play from Raul Jimenez, honestly, like, doing what a natural 9 is supposed to do. Hold up the ball. Yeah, and
Play through.
Yeah, play through, creating spaces. That goal was 95% him, like, honestly. Man, Vega should have done better. Like, he got a little lucky. To be fair, he got a little lucky that the ball bounced right back to him after he shot at the goalkeeper. Like, if that was like a Manuel Neuer, a Donnarumma, a Dibu Martinez, like you were saying, like, if that was a actual decent goalkeeper or a quality goalkeeper, they're saving that right away.
He doesn't have to be a great goalkeeper, just a decent goalkeeper. You look at even Liga MX, Andrada saving that.
Yeah, and he's not letting it like go back to the forward.
It's not happening.
Yeah. Like, Vega should have done better in that situation. There's at least like 2 situations he could have maybe scored even a brace or a hat trick. There's a few situations. And that's what kind of pisses me off about the national team, about the players. Like, they just look like a shadow of themselves when they get to national team at club level. They perform exceptionally, like Vega, like Piojo, like Santi. Even Marcel. But, I don't know. There's just like a few players. Malagon, too, like...
Especially Malagon.
Yeah, he had 2 like salidas today that was just like so iffy, bro.
Yeah,
He's just so iffy, like coming out. And I don't know if it's just because he's not big enough, or he doesn't have confidence, or he's scared. I really don't know. He doesn't fill me with confidence in a corner kick specifically.
No, in the corner kick, I think that's the most dangerous thing that could happen to Mexico.
Yeah.
Just a corner kick.
Yeah.
More dangerous than a free kick, possibly.
Definitely. Luckily we've kind of figured out like our set pieces, like at least attacking wise. Yeah, we're very deadly at set pieces. Today we didn't score any goals from set pieces. Finally, we scored 2 goals from open play. One of them being an own goal, but the first one being from clear, like finally like, some playmaking, some good playmaking, and then the second one a little fortuitous. Mateo Chavez, when he subbed on, was honestly very active. He puts a great swinging ball into Santi Jimenez's path. Santi couldn't really get to the end of it, but he did it just enough for the defender to just try to get to do something, and the defender ends up knocking it in. So a little bit lucky for that second goal, but that's what you need sometimes in these games. And in these final instances especially where it's just 90 minutes, there's no extra time, there's no anything else. It's just straight 90 minutes and it goes straight to PKs. And that's what we saw in the game against Honduras and who did they play against?
They played Honduras versus
Panama. It was 1-0 for Panama for most of the match. I think like the 40th minute they scored. And then in the last 5 minutes, Honduras tied the game 1-1. They go straight to penalties, and Honduras, with the momentum, get the win in PKs. And now it's going to be Honduras versus Mexico, semifinal clash in Santa Clara, California. It's going to be basically a rematch of the Nations League quarterfinals. So now it's going to be in the semifinals, a match that's going to be a lot more important. I'm pretty sure Honduras is going to be looking for revenge.
The fact that I mean, if you think about it, before the tournament started, a lot of people were claiming Panama could make it to the final again.
Yeah.
And be the underdog again. So this is a underdog once again for the past 66 tournaments. But so this is an upset for Honduras, for Panama. Panama was the favorite. Panama's been fairly decent. They've developed their league. They've developed their individual players.
I've seen creators saying like, "Oh, like Panama is scary. Like, be careful with Panama." And that's always the same thing every year, like you said.
Every fucking year, it's the same fucking thing.
Be careful with Panama. Like,
yeah, bro, I'm not scared of Panama at this point.
They should be scared of themselves, bro.
They beat themselves. Panama will handle themselves.
Yeah.
And we saw that today. I mean,
now it's gonna be Honduras versus Mexico. Honduras is gonna be looking for revenge, but Mexico just have more talent, more quality. Even if they're not playing spectacular football, we know with the individual talents that they have and the individual moments that these players are carrying, like they're gonna be able to just do the bare minimum. Yeah. You know, the 1-0, the 2-0, the 2-1s, like very scrappy matches. We're not gonna see this Mexico team probably with any selección unless they're playing like a very poor national team. We're not going to see them like beat teams 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. They don't have the creativity or firepower to really do that unless maybe you switch up the system a little bit.
The thing is that Mexico has a fairly defensive chance. You know, their defense is probably the best thing they have, especially coming from the six where it's going back.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's kind of just like going forward. They're decent. Their strongest suit is the wings and Raúl Jiménez up top being able to create something, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens against Honduras. I think they can get the win. They probably should get the win. I'm not confident enough to predict, anything more than
1-0.
maybe 1-0. Yeah, 1-0,
2-1.
2-1 max. Maybe 2-0. Honestly, I could see it kind of like how this game was. Very tight. I mean, Saudi Arabia, the whole game, they played with 5 at the back, 4 in the midfield, and their one striker. And that's how everyone's going to play against Mexico. Nice. And it's going to be the same thing against Honduras. It's going to be 5-4-1 or 5-5, and that's it.
4-4-2 max.
Literally. Like, there's not going to be... It's going to be Mexico with being the main protagonist, trying to create spaces where there's no spaces, with players that don't really know what to do when they have the little tight spaces. Like, it's going to be another scrappy match. I could definitely see like a 2-1, 1-0, something like that. Mexico has to win this Gold Cup. I mean,
there's no competition right now.
Yeah, USA been somewhat iffy. Canada, I think maybe they're the only one that really can create like somewhat of a threat.
No, yeah, especially. Mexico is just recent Gold Cup winner, recent Nations League winner. They have to win it. Yeah,
easily. Well, yeah, another victory for Mexico, 2-0, and now they're going to face Honduras. We'll see what happens in the next match. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, check out the platform links down below. Come back after the Mexico versus Honduras match later this week for the recap, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.